So over the Christmas and New Year break, I did a bunch of surveying in my school community and elsewhere, asking you all what your biggest problems were in the current moment with your AI automation agency. And one of the biggest problems that revealed itself is that you guys are struggling with consistent lead generation. And you might have just started the business and you've got maybe your first client or two, but you don't know how to take it to that next stage of saying, oh, now I've got a consistent stream of bookings coming in, so that you can actually start to hire a team and have some kind of consistency, so that you know you can actually build this business on a longer term basis than just like one client to the other and always worrying about where the next one's coming from. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through basically the exact system that I've used to generate thousands of leads for my AI automation agency, Morningside AI, and really just give you a bit of a marketing masterclass, if I do say so myself. From my 6 years in digital marketing, I've done everything from like running paid ads to sell physical products through like Shopify dropshipping, etc., marketing agency, sort of typical SMA, and more importantly, and more recently, organic content funnels and how to make content like this and on other platforms, and to consistently, this is infinite leads if you can't see it, but to consistently convert strangers into leads and then ultimately to sales as well. So I'm not going to be touching on the sales section in this video. I think that deserves its whole own video entirely. But I'm going to focus on the lead generation portion of breaking down exactly how this works. And I think a lot of you want to do this, but you don't quite understand how this mechanism works. So it's actually not too complex, and I'm going to break it down for you. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you a resource that you can take to put this into plan. So I know you guys might look at what I do on YouTube now and think that's sort of a bit more advanced than I'm able to do right now. But I'm going to boil this down to, if I was starting again, and I mean, I've generated like 10 million plus views or something. I've got a lot of subscribers next to my name, so I know a decent amount about this. And I'm going to give you the exact strategy and the sort of blueprint for starting a organic content funnel like this that I would do if I was getting started again with my AI automation agency. So to get started, this is going to be a bit of a slower paced video, by the way. This is Sunday afternoon here, and guys are out there building a sauna. So there's a good chance for me to give you guys a breakdown of the marketing side of things. So it's not going to be super TikTok brain optimized, I'm sorry, but I promise you it's going to be some extremely valuable information for you if you are looking to scale your AI automation agency in 2025 by generating consistent leads. So the whole process of lead generation, and I mean the entire client acquisition part of a business, is to turn strangers into customers, right? So that's like the whole thing. Stranger, never heard of you before, to customer. So we can call these cold. These people are cold, right? You have different temperatures. You have cold, and then people will call it warm, and then you can call it hot. So these are different audience temperatures, and this is pretty fundamental marketing terminology. Cold audiences, never heard of you before. Warm audiences, people who have heard from you before, maybe they've been referred to you, or they've engaged with your content before, or they've given you the email, etc. They're warm, they've taken some kind of, they're no longer strangers. And hot are people who are showing extreme or like serious buying intent, and they are likely closable if you make the right offer or get in front of them in the right way. So that's first things first. So up here, it represents all the strangers. And so when you are trying to market your business, or regardless of if it's AI automation agency or other, you have these strangers, and what content allows you to do, and this is being an organic content funnel. I think that term was coined by Matt Gray, and he's done a lot of stuff in sort of explaining how this organic content funnel works, and it's been very helpful for me to understand what I've been doing all along and putting into a bit more of a framework like this. So shout out to Matt Gray for that. But what we're trying to do is turn these strangers into like, these are book meetings. Let's call these bookings on your calendar. And these are closes. The first thing you need to do when it comes to content is to get awareness, right? The first problem is, let's write this up here. Problem one is awareness. No one even knows who you are. An awareness step is taking these strangers and putting them into this first one. So we can say this is going on and converting them into this middle one. So the thing with content is that certain platforms have discoverability engines, like say here on YouTube. If you make content that is talking about how builders can use AI or the best real estate AI systems, YouTube has an algorithm that allows you to be discovered. So it'll try to find people, or either through YouTube search or just being recommended on their browse, that will try to convert, or at least show those videos to these strangers. And if you are appealing to what those strangers are interested in, say these are red dots might be your builders, right? And this is just the millions of people on these platforms. There are red dots in that audience. You just need to be able to attract them and convert them from strangers into people who are aware of you. So this is the awareness problem. And the way you do this is by making content that is targeted to a certain group of people. So top 5 AI automations for builders in 2025. Simple. Like just more ideas like that. And this goes with the same thing for if you're posting on LinkedIn or if you're posting on X, etc. But you need to solve this first problem of awareness, and that's done through creating content and posting on platforms that allow you to be discovered. So TikTok is a great example of this because they were the first ones. If you go back a few years before we had Reels on Instagram, if you made a new Instagram account and you started posting the most amazing content ever, but you had no followers, you weren't going to get any engagement because there's no discoverability. You're not getting yourself in front of anyone new. So this is when For You pages and stuff like that were popularized through TikTok, and Instagram, of course, adopted that. And YouTube's always been kind of a discoverability engine like that. So if you want to solve this first problem of turning strangers into paying customers, you need to think about how you solve this awareness thing. And that's going to be done through using a platform like YouTube or through Instagram Reels or whatever, where they have an engine that can allow you to be shown to people who are not your followers. Otherwise, you're going to have a much harder time. Say if you started a new Twitter account and you got 0 followers, I believe they may be incorporating more of a discoverability engine into Twitter. Yeah, I think there's people you follow and then like general posts as well. So it seems like they have integrated that as well. But that's the first problem, is getting them across here and these guys to see your content and ideally follow you. So I'm going to say this first step from completely cold into this sort of warm area. These are people who have seen your content, followed you, followed/subscribed. And this is basically victory number 1 for you. Have you made something that is appealing to the people that you're trying to find, and it's converted them from a stranger, it's gotten them to click or to stop scrolling, and they've watched your content, and ideally they've followed you or subscribed. So this puts them in kind of the holding bay of like, okay, now I get a chance to keep sending more value and passing more value that way through my posts, right? So you can be found on YouTube and they subscribe to you. And the way YouTube works is that it's going to push those videos onto the browse page and also in the subscriptions tab. But the main thing is that if you're subscribed to someone, like if you're subscribed to me, my videos are going to pop up in your home feed a lot more because you're subscribed to me. And I thank you guys for following me and watching my videos. I hope you get enough value out of it because I really try to pack as much in. And thank you for all the nice comments on some of the recent videos. Like I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys know that I'm really trying to put you guys on here. And yeah, I'm really trying. And I know a lot of you see that and appreciate that I'm trying to be straight up with you all about things. But yeah, I just appreciate you all for everything you've done for me and my team and stuff like that. But I don't want to get all mushy on you about allow me to do this stuff. And this is what I love. So seeing your content and you've solved that problem. So problem number 1, awareness is solved. And that is you've got them on some kind of holding platform. Now the important thing to understand here is that these are called rented audiences, right? These are bad. Well, they're better than cold. It's obviously better than no one knowing you exist. But these are rented. These are rented audiences. Rented meaning you are a guest on the YouTube platform or you are a guest on the X platform or whichever one you're on. Basically, at any point, they could turn the lights off of your account. All of your access to them is determined by the algorithm and by staying within the bounds of what's allowed on that platform. So it's rented. While this is good, you can have I'm just going to ditch these down here, by the way. You could have 10,000 followers, or you make content that allows you over the course of a few months, you eventually gather 10,000 followers, 10,000 people who want to be basically subscribed to see more content like that. And this can also be done through what's called a CTA. So this is a bit more marketing CTA, call to action. Say in this video, I could say, if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to learn how to build AI businesses and make an impact on the world and see the best version of yourself through this awesome vehicle, then subscribe to the channel. See, I just did it. That's called a CTA. So I just did a call to action to get you to subscribe to the channel so that you see more content like this. Pretty basic stuff, I know, but you can do this in written content as well. So the CTA here would be, hey, subscribe to me for more content like this, which is what I just said to you. And hopefully some of you have subscribed if you haven't already. And this is how you get your followers, or whatever the platform specific one is. And then we need to convert these rented audiences, which is good to have, but still not what you really want, and can be taken away at any point, as we saw through, I don't know, the whole COVID thing, certain people getting completely taken off, and in various different platforms, if you say the wrong thing, you're gone. So if you're running a business, you want to have diversified or definitely factored in that risk that you could get nuked at any point. And so this is when we get into what's called, this blue one doesn't work that well, sorry. A red tick of owned audiences. Now this is the really important thing. So say we're doing the building example, and we've managed to pull a bunch of builders out. We've made some really good stuff that appeals to builders on YouTube, or maybe you've gone on Instagram because you realize that Instagram is a better platform for finding builders. That is something you need to factor in if you are doing a content system like this. If you're trying to find a certain type of person, it's like, would C-level execs be watching YouTube and picking around? I'm sure there's some, but you need to make sure you're using the right platform to find the right people. So that's a little side note there. But the owned audiences, we've solved the problem of getting awareness with my content that YouTube has served to these builders, or they've found it through the search engine, like top automations for builders, or like 5 things every builder should know about AI, moving. Yeah, you get the idea. And so we've got them in this rented audience. Now we need to try and move. So let's say this is all full of them. We now need to try to move some of them across this and into our rented audience. Now, what is a rented audience? Typically, general marketing is just the email. Can you get their email? So there's email, and then there's SMS. And then obviously there's like WhatsApp and any other things. So basically, you can, WhatsApp also could, WhatsApp you're still technically using their platform and you could be banned. So email and SMS are kind of permissionless. You do need to obviously stick within the realm of good email practices to not get banned. And also SMS to your list should be fine. Yeah, there's basically nothing, at least just spamming them. But basically, you have their number, you have their email, and you can communicate with them whenever you want and however you want, unless you make them unsubscribe. But the point is that you have control over it. They have opted and they've given you their details so that you have permission to contact them. And the most important thing about business, definitely one of the most important things, is being able to communicate directly to your customer base. And if you think about it, if you send an email out to a 10,000 person email list, you might get 30 to 40% of those opening. So even then, when you've got their email, and then how many of them actually read the whole thing? So then that's when you realize how difficult it truly is to like get a little bit of the brain space of all the people you're trying to work with. So whether that's you're hitting them with lots of content all over the place, and you're hitting them with emails, even with all of that noise and all of that value you're throwing at them, it's still quite hard to get through to them. And that's why having a direct line to them is such a valuable thing, and that's why it's important to try to get an owned audience. So the way you do this, and I'm even going to show you how to do it with this video, because I'm going to attach the free resource with this for you guys to build out your own organic content funnel like this. But you need some kind of value or CTA or something. And a lot of the people in my accelerator do this are doing very, very well on LinkedIn. I'll try to put a couple of the LinkedIn profiles of them down there if I can find some good ones. But basically, they're doing content that is getting people to engage with it. It's like, hey, these 20 make automations to automate your business in 2025. Kind of broad things, and you have like a Loom video showing this make automation, and fairly standard. I feel like we've made it standard on LinkedIn because of how much we're pushing it in the accelerator. But you guys probably see it all the time. If you don't, then hop on LinkedIn and follow a couple AI automation agency owners, and you definitely see a lot of it. But something that you make some content on here, on say LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever, and then you attach to it some kind of offer. So another CTA saying, hey, if you enjoyed this, I've actually got even more value or even more stuff to give you, and I'm going to put it just behind this thing where you have to give me your email. And so that step is getting them into, say, email list, And so of course you can just say sign up to my newsletter, but there's not much value behind that. So I mean, using an example of what I've literally given to you guys in this video, it's a free resource, or what's called a lead magnet. And that CTA is going to take you from this audience here, the rental audience, into your own audience, where you have the email or SMS. And now in here is an important mechanism that is probably one of the lesser understood ones in the entire sort of marketing space. And this is something that took me quite a while to realize as well. So there's now this very, very important stage, and it's called nurturing. And this is what happens in this section here. I mean, it's technically happening here, but nurturing is basically just building up sort of trust, respect, all those lovey-dovey words, authority. And just like this, we do it at Morningside AI with our customer list, and now like the people that would be on sales calls that we would like to close at a later date. The exact same process works for, say, education businesses like the AAA Accelerator I run, and more so for you guys, it's doing the exact same thing for nurturing your AI automation agency leads. So nurturing is a key step, and it can be done through content, whether like you guys watch my channel right now. If you guys had a YouTube channel, you can technically nurture them, but what you can do is you can run emails to push them out of your list to watch the video, and that continues to prove your expertise, build a relationship with them. They say you need like 7 touch points on average these days in order to sell something. And so if you guys are trying to convert these builders, again, when using the builders example, these builders into people who are booked onto your calendar, so this is these bookings that come out the second stage, then you need to have some way to prove that you know what you're talking about, that you are someone that they can help. Then you need to prove that you are someone that can actually help them to achieve what they want to achieve. And that's in this case of being their guide to better understand AI and to use it to improve their business. So this nurture step is so critical, and that's why it's really important to get them into that owned audience, because you get a chance to consistently nurture them. Say the way you put this into your strategy for the builders is once a week or twice a week, you talk about one handy, or maybe like an interview that you did with the client, or a breakdown of a case study that you did, or a list of handy tools or things that they should look into, or there's so many different ways that you can prove that you know what you're talking about, or that you've, or like an interesting story that you had when you're working with a client recently. This kind of stuff, and providing free value and really writing the story of how you want them to perceive you is critical. Maybe you did a podcast or an interview with someone, and you just shoot that out to your email list. Hey guys, just had a chat with one of the biggest building contracting firms in my city, and with the CEO, and we walk through this. Then you shoot it out to your email list. Basically, at some point, they will be like, wow, this guy is the person that I need to work with to get what I want to get done. And that's when you make the final CTA. And this is going to be to your calendar. And so at the end of all of these nurture steps, when you're shooting out emails, you include at the end of that email, or the SMS, or typically they're just going to be the email. Most of the time it's going to be your email and newsletter. And there's going to be CTAs like, hey, by the way, I've actually just opened up a few more spots. We've just got this great result for XYZ. That's what was in the email. A breakdown of a client case study or something you've been working on recently, or a learning that you had. Is that, by the way, I've also got a few spaces opened up on my calendar. We're taking on a few more clients for next month. Put a bit of urgency and scarcity in there. We find it at Morningside that's always great. I mean, you can fabricate it, but I mean, we don't need to fabricate it because we actually have it. But before we were at the stage we're at, we did need to fabricate it. So if you need to fabricate a scarcity and urgency, but you guys just being absolutely packed out, I mean, we had to do it when we first got started. I don't think it's illegal by any means, but a bit of urgency and scarcity is great to get them to make that jump and book a call. And so here's when we start getting those infinite leads and bookings flowing out. And now this is going to be far better compared to, say, a direct response marketing method like cold email, where you're taking them from here to here, and you're trying to do it in like a day, or like maybe a few days if you've got the follow-up sequence going. But you see, this is a lot slower. So there are direct response marketing is a style of marketing. We are very much focused on fast ROI, measurable results, and always making very strong and clear offers with urgency and scarcity, etc. This is a bit of a combination because we've got these direct response style things where we're trying to push and measure this conversion. Okay, how many people are watching my content and how many people are subscribing to my email list? Okay, you're getting a direct response from that content. But more broadly, this nurturing step becomes a longer time horizon where it's not so much direct response and it's more so, okay, how can I get as many people in here and just over time just pepper away at them. Some people are going to take longer than others. Some people are going to convert very quickly. But if you get a good mix of value that you give there and then also offers, like you could put in once a month, at the end of the month, at the start of the month, a direct offer to your email list saying, hey guys, we have just wrapped up 3 more projects and we're actually taking on 2 more. So I'd love to work with another building company locally. You can book in a call directly with me here. We can have a chat about how we can help your business. So does that all make sense? I know it might seem like a lot of work, but the biggest thing that you guys were asking me about in the forms that I put out is this consistent lead generation question. And yes, this seems like a lot, but consistently acquiring leads does take a lot of effort. It's one like 80% of your job as the founder in the early stage of the business should be focused on. It's just this. Like, how can I make myself more known? How can I take strangers and make some kind of touch point with them and then give them some free value and get them on the email list? So to bring this kind of down to earth for you all, and like I said, this sales portion after on your calendar is a whole other story that I can probably do in another video for you. But you guys really need to get serious about setting up something like this, because the time involvement, content creation, if you get it dialed in, you can be doing 10 hours a week of content creation, where you focus and you sit down for 2 mornings a week and you just bang out some really valuable stuff. You look back over your calendar, there's all sorts of ideation strategies. I can make a whole other video on that, the exact ideation strategies I use to come up with like 200 ideas for content in a few hours. But then you can schedule it up. You can say, okay, I'm going to get a content manager in, or I'm just going to schedule it out myself initially, and be consistently posting across just one platform to start. That's what I recommend, and moving people through these. You may not get them immediately jumping over, but I see so many of you doing like really the main thing that I want to talk about in this video is that so many of you are doing good stuff on the content side, and you're getting engagement. I see a lot of people who are accelerated in the free school community getting engagement on the social posts, and lots of people are like, yeah, send me this, send me that, send me that. But I don't hear as much about it like, hey, yeah, I'm just consistently closing these deals. It's like I got a lot of interest, but I haven't seemed to convert that into as many clients as I thought I would. And the people who have figured it out, and the ones who are really scaling their agencies right now, have realized that there's a step where, yes, you've provided value with your content. Now you need to capture that, and you need to also schedule time each week to manage this owned audience, so that you've got your list and you're consistently peppering them with value. Even if it's just 100 people or 200 people initially, just start chipping away and building that up, because soon enough you will have, again, if you just stick to this for 6, 12 months, if you want to do building as a niche, like again, if you haven't watched my niching video, I just did it. It really breaks down the best way to find your perfect niche in 2025 and beyond. This process is going to allow you to consistently pull people from the unaware and have no clue, the cold audience who doesn't know who you are, down through these with consistent content output and then consistent newsletters as well. And so this is exactly what I've done to generate 2,000 or more leads for Morningside AI through my YouTube channel. It's probably more like 3,000 now. And then also we've got all of the people who book in a call with us, we have the email, and we do fire off sporadic emails to keep nurturing them. Basically, whenever we need more clients, the reason we've always been booked out is because we'll either go back to the people who are on the waiting list, or we'll shoot out an email to the people who we turned away because we're too busy, and shoot them an email, and boom, we're instantly booked out. So this is incredibly powerful if you do it right. And this step, if you can really understand it, is the key, because you're going to be able to get a more extract the value out of the content you create more, and just consistently build this list so that whenever you need more clients, shoot that offer out directly, and most of the other time you're just sharing value as well. So what I'm going to do as an example to show you that this stuff works is that I put together a resource giving you a breakdown on the exact strategies I do to the initial version of a content funnel like this. A step-by-step worksheet for you to go step-by-step through. And to achieve something based, I get it, it may seem overwhelming for you, but if you want consistent leads, you need to start doing this now. And also the personal branding aspect can completely change your life. Like, it is absolutely changed my life. And the reason I keep making these videos and trying to help so many of you is because the bigger my personal brand gets, the bigger, like the leads we're getting through the doors at Morningside now are ridiculous. Off some of these bigger like AI agents videos that are posted, the amount of people who see my face and hear my story and hear that I have a development company, it's ridiculous if you can do it right. All right, so the bigger my personal brand gets, the bigger opportunities I get thrown at me, full stop. And if you guys can just get the ball rolling with this, then you get a flywheel where you can just, okay, I'm making money now. Let's re-engineer the content. Let's think bigger. Let's up the production. Let's get a bigger team on. Then you get in this flywheel, and I promise you, if you can get a significant personal brand in the AI space through your content creation, even if it's just within your niche, you will have so many opportunities starting you, because everyone wants AI right now. You're like a mini celebrity amongst the right people, because they're just clueless when it comes to AI, and they want to be in on it. So I'm going to be giving you guys a step-by-step breakdown of how to put together this for yourself. And I know that for those of you who put this into action this year, by bang on middle of this year, you are going to have no more issues. You're never going to be worrying about getting a client again, because you'll have a few thousand people on your email list, you'll have 10, 20,000 followers on your chosen platform, and you will just be printing. All right, so that's been Marketing 101, Digital Marketing 101, organic content funnels. Rewatch this if you need to, go make notes. Again, understanding cold, warm, hot, rented and owned audiences, nurturing, these key things, call to actions, awareness. Actually, I should have done more of these problems, but you get the idea. Problem 1, awareness. Problem 2, getting them into your owned audience. Problem 3, getting them to book, and conversion. So that's been a bit of a freestyle one for you guys. Appreciate you all for the support recently. It's been incredible. I'm so fortunate to be in this position where I get to make a video and help tens of thousands or hundreds of millions of people. And yeah, I just hope you guys know that I'm gonna really keep pushing it this year. Me and my team are going all in on helping as many of you as possible, because while there's massive benefits for you, there's also massive benefits for me. And like I said, we get so many massive opportunities thrown at me because of how fast this spread is going. So I just really appreciate all your support. And I hope you know that me and my team are doing everything we can to keep helping you. And we've got a lot of cool stuff in the works for this year. So yeah, that's all with the video. Grab the resource below, CTA, subscribe to the channel, in order to put this together for yourself this year and stop worrying about leads. All right, put one up here on this closing part, which is pretty important. Bit of an order of a year, talking about how to close AI leads, which we've learned at Morningside. Aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.